can't believe how pale I look when I'm wearing fake tan. I think it's just this room. Whenever I come in this room I look pale. This is a bandwagon. This is me jumping onto the bandwagon, hanging on for dear life because I'm doing an assumptions video. Now before I get into this video, I'm going to need you guys to ignore two things for me. Number one, ignore my makeup. It went wrong. I tried to be adventurous with my eyeshadow with some blue and it went wrong. I've tried to cover it up but it ain't very well done. Number two, my hair. Couldn't be bothered to do anything with it, so I thought just clip a ponytail on, but I couldn't be bothered to do anything with my real hair, so if my real hair starts to make an appearance, just ignore it. It's just what you've got to do, to be perfectly honest with you. And then this is really naughty, and it's just a whole thing that I honestly can't be bothered to deal with right now. So, I asked my lovely Instagram followers to assume some shit about me, and they did. So let's get into it. First assumption is you really want your YouTube channel to blow up. I would say that is not true at all. I think I would be terrified and I wouldn't know what to do if my YouTube channel blew up. And I think I have said this before numerous times. I don't think I'd like it. I think it would freak me out a lot. You're not a very confident person. That is very correct. I would say I have, out of 10, probably about a confidence level of 4, because there are some things I'm confident doing, but then I'm also not very confident in myself. Although saying that, most of the things I'm confident doing, I'm only confident doing once I've had a drink. So maybe I'm like a 2. But that is a very correct assumption and probably something most people would assume about me if they watched my videos. I think it's pretty apparent that I'm not very confident. You love crisps. Correct. That is a very correct assumption. I bloody love crisps. There have been times in my life where I've had crisps as every meal of my day. Not that this is something I'm proud of, but it does just show off my love for crisps. Crisps are just an amazing thing, and so many flavours, so many brands, so many types, so many textures. I could do a series on my channel about crisps, like reviewing crisps, and it would be the happiest time of my life. You were bullied at school? No. I'm one of those very fortunate and very few people that wasn't bullied at school. I know it happens way more. I think it's actually rarer to find someone that wasn't bullied in school than was bullied in school. There was one thing I got bullied for, and that was only literally like, it didn't last very long, like, and it was a stupid thing and it wasn't anything that I would really classify it as bullying, because it literally got knocked on the head so quick and literally lasted like just a few days and wasn't major. So no, I was never bullied in school. I think it helped that I had a cousin in the year above, and she doesn't take no shit from anyone, and she certainly wouldn't have taken any shit from anyone saying anything or doing anything to me, so that was helpful. And yeah, I was not bullied in school, thank God, because fuck knows how I would have coped with that. I literally I never would have gone to school, and I never went to school anyway. I had the worst attendance in my whole year group when I was in year 10 and maybe year 11. So God knows how I would have coped if I got bullied as well. I don't like assuming, so my assumptions are lame. Well, to be honest, it's a good thing not to assume things, but I do feel like we all do it subconsciously. I think as humans we are just sort of designed to be quite judgmental and assuming of others, but it's good that you don't like to assume. And on a similar note, is it bad that I have yet to assume anything about you? I think you're cool as fuck. Well, thank you. I'm probably the least coolest person that ever was, but I do appreciate that. You see a therapist. I see many therapists because I work in a counselling centre. But I don't actually have a therapist or go to counselling sessions or anything like that, because I pretty much know all of the bloody counsellors in my area, so I can't really see a counsellor. That's not true, there probably are some I don't know. But when I have thought about going to see a therapist before, and I've gone on the BACP Find a Therapist website, I'm literally like, I know them, I know them, I know them, I know of them, etc, etc. I think it's definitely something I will do in the future, but I haven't done it before. And at the moment I don't think I should, because I pretty much get free counselling anyway, because counsellors will often just talk to me and then realise very quickly they can counsel me. You're the best kind of girl to drink wine and bitch about men with. I like this assumption. I haven't done that since I was probably like 16, 17, but that was a very favourite pastime of mine, to be honest. I think I'd like to think that's something I'm good at. Your parents do everything for you and pay for everything, no hate. I think that's a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Depends on, I think, your own upbringing, if you think my parents have done everything for me, because I don't think my parents do everything for me. They certainly don't pay for everything for me. My mum and dad cook my dinner because I live with them, and I'm trying to think what else they do for me in this point in my life. Obviously they did a lot for me when I was a bit younger, like a teenager, but I do my washing, I do my ironing, I clean up after myself if I cooked, which doesn't happen a lot, but I cook my lunch a lot of the time. I can't think of much that, well, my dad doesn't do anything. I can't think of much that my mum does for me on a regular basis that I don't do. I know there's a lot of stuff mums do behind the scenes that we have like no idea about, but in terms of paying for everything for me, I am quite naughty. I will often say to my dad, can you buy this for me and I'll pay you back, and at the time I really fully do intend on paying him back, and it just doesn't happen. For example, I bought this phone in October. Well, my dad bought it and I said I'll pay you back every month, and it hasn't happened yet, but I do fully intend on it happening. It's just, we're really bad. I forget to do things, and then he doesn't forget to nag me to do, he forgets to nag me to do things. So if he was on my case every month, like, can I have that money, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, but he doesn't, so I sort of just let it slide for a bit. But I do fully intend on giving him every penny for this. Whether it happens is another thing, but I don't pay my parents any rent because I don't earn a lot of money. They'd have to be really cruel to take some money off me with the amount I earn. If I was working full-time, I'd definitely be giving them money for like keep. And so basically all my parents pay for me is obviously the bills, like the gas and electric and water and stuff, and they pay for my food and everything I buy, like all my clothes, my toiletries, my makeup, everything like that I buy. So I don't know. They pay for things to keep me alive. I pay for things to keep me happy. Does that sound really spoiled? I don't know. You feel awkward talking to your subscribers. I feel awkward talking to anyone, to be honest. I'm just an awkward person. That's just how I am and who I am. But I don't think I feel awkward talking to my subscribers. I talk to a lot of my subscribers. I've become quite friendly with a lot of you. I've exchanged phone numbers with a few of you and we text sometimes. I'm constantly like DMing you guys and conversations and stuff. So I don't think I feel awkward talking to you. Any more than I would I don't think I feel any more awkward talking to you guys than I do anyone else. But I do feel awkward talking to people in general anyway. Does that make any sense? I don't know. There's some of you guys that I've just been talking to for such a long time, I don't even like compute the fact that you might watch these videos. I just think of us as like pals, so you know. Speaking of pals, this one's from one of my online pals. You miss working in a charity shop. I would say that is a fair assumption to make to an extent, because there's so much I don't miss about it, because it was really stressful. It wasn't a very, most of the time it wasn't a very nice environment to be in, but I do miss a lot of the people. I miss all the bargains. I miss getting out of the house more than I do now, and I miss I miss the fact that you never know what a day is going to throw at you. I like to have a little bit of a challenge, which is something I don't really have in my current job too often. So yeah, I miss some aspects and some I definitely don't. Doing YouTube worsened your anxiety? I honestly can't say if that's a fair assumption or not, because we have Hannah who does YouTube, and we don't have Hannah that doesn't do YouTube to compare it to, if that makes sense. Like, I have no idea if I didn't do YouTube how my anxiety would be, because I'm fairly certain I'd still be quite active online, because most people are using social media and are online now. So I think even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would still be putting myself on the internet, and it would still most likely be drawing in the same sort of thing. So I can't really say if that's a true assumption to make or not. There are times where YouTube has made me very anxious over periods, but I don't know if it has worsened my anxiety in general and overall. You have really thick hair and eyebrows are microbladed. Interesting. I do have quite thick hair. Obviously this isn't my hair. It's not too thick at the moment because I've got a lot of layers and I get quite a lot of breakage, but generally speaking it is naturally pretty thick. And like I've had people on YouTube videos before being like, your hair's not thick, mine's much thicker, and it's like, well, your hair might be thicker, but that doesn't stop my hair from being thick. I've had quite a few hairstylists in salons comment on the thickness of my hair and the fact that it really retains water and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty thick. And as for the microblading, do you really think I'd get my eyebrows microbladed and not tell you guys? My life is so dull, I have to tell you guys every little thing I do. I even tell you when I have a fucking bath. Do you think I wouldn't tell you? Do you think I wouldn't let you in on that little knowledge? But it is something I would like to get done. I don't need it as much as a lot of other people that get it done do, because my eyebrows are in pretty okay shape. But it is something I'd love to get done, just to take the faff out of having to do eyebrows. But yeah, I've never had it done, but definitely would if I had the money. You would get plastic surgery. I would say that's a pretty spot on assumption to make. It is something I would definitely do if I had the money and was really confident in the surgeon I was going to. There's probably quite a few things I would get done, to be honest. Yeah, I can think of a fair few things I get done at this point in my life and things I'd get done in the future. So yeah, correct assumption, correctamundo. You don't want a full-time job. I would say that is half correct, half incorrect, because I would get a full-time job, definitely. I've sort of had one before. I say sort of because it was technically part-time, but I did voluntary hours on top of it, so I was working the hours but not getting paid the money, but that's a whole other story. So if I had a job that I loved, wouldn't mind doing full-time. I'd work every hour under the sun if it was a job I loved, but I wouldn't go into a full-time job that I don't like, because I don't think it's worth putting that strain on my mental health again. So I would basically, yeah, I just don't want a full-time job if I don't like the job. I'm quite fortunate, I guess, that I don't have to work a job I don't like, because I do live at home. My parents don't put pressure on me. Sometimes I think it would be good if they did put pressure on me. But I'm not in a situation where like I have to work to pay my bills and stuff, which is quite fortunate. But yeah, I've got no qualms with working full time. I've just got to find the right job to do it. But I have no idea what I want to do with my life, and that's why I'm constantly freaking out. you don't actually share a lot about your life. Yeah, I would say, although I'm quite an oversharer in my videos about a lot of stuff, I would say I actually do not show a massive portion. There's a lot of stuff I don't talk about, a lot of stuff I wouldn't want to talk about, and I'm quite private about a lot of things, not so private about other things. Probably should be more private about some things, but yeah, I would say I'm quite private. That you have a shopping addiction, I would say that was true, but maybe not now. A part of me thinks I might have for now cured my online shopping addiction. I've saved up a lot of money this year, just this year, and I'm really pleased with myself. I've bought the odd thing online, but nothing compared to what I used to. I was placing orders online every day last year. Well, not every day last year, but like pretty much every day I'd be buying something, or, you know, or just like spending hours on shopping websites every day. This year I have not, and I'm quite proud of myself and pleased. I've got savings in the bank. I've got I'm learning to appreciate what I already have, and I feel really good for it actually, and I'm really pleased with it. And I'm also going to be trying my best to just shop clothes wise. This is just get things from eBay, Depop, charity shops, etc. There will be the odd time where this does not apply, because I have bought a few things new this year, but I'm trying my best to really reduce the amount I spend and what I'm spending it on. And so far so good. I know we're only like a little bit into February, but I feel quietly confident that I think I've cured my online shopping addiction. Whoop whoop. Do you want a boyfriend? That is an incorrect assumption. I do not want a boyfriend. It's a very weird thing for me to talk about, because I've never really had much interest in having a boyfriend, and it's not, without sounding big-headed, it's not like I haven't had the opportunity, because I have like dated people in the past, or like been seeing people like when I was at school and stuff. Never really put a label on it or anything. I've always been under the I've always been in the sort of mind frame that I don't want to invite another person into my life until I'm really happy with who I am. And I know that sounds so deep and so profound, and you might think, but what if you're never happy with who you are? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. But it's never, there are some girls and boys and men and women that just can't be single and just are always wanting a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a whatever friend, and I've never been like that. I've never felt the need to share my life with someone else. I think it's because I'm quite antisocial. I'm often don't have time for people's shit, to be honest, and I think they probably don't have time for mine either. And yeah, it's just, it seems to be something that bothers everyone else, like family and stuff, like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Are you a lesbian? Yeah. And it's like, it honestly just bothers you more than it bothers me. I could not give a shit if I have a boyfriend. It's never really bothered me. I don't feel the yearn, is that a word? I don't fucking know, is that a word? I've never felt the real need to have a boyfriend and all that jazz. Obviously, if I met someone and it felt right and we clicked, then great. But it's not something I would ever sort out. I would just allow it to happen organically. Saying that, I do have a dating app on my phone, but I literally just use that for laughs. I've never actually spoken to anyone. I just use it to look at men. Yeah, I hope I sort of got all my points across. I'm not really a great speaker. I'm not good at putting thoughts into words in a good way, as you can probably tell. So I hope all of that sort of made sense and you learnt a little bit more about me, and I've cleared the air on some assumptions about me. Let me know if you had any of those same assumptions. That would be interesting to know if you had ever assumed the same things about me or other things. Feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them if I feel comfortable enough with doing that. And yeah, I think I'm all assumed out, and I assume you are too. And guys, just remember, never assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me. I'm gonna go now and unclip this thing from my head so I can feel free again. Please give the video a like if you did like it. Feel free to leave me any other videos you want to do down in that comment section. Do leave me a comment, please. Please leave me a comment. I'm joking, I don't give a fuck if you do or don't. Bye!